So what we're going to be setting up for here is we're going to be working on some general running prep. So calves, hamstrings, adductors, abs, making sure that the whole lower extremities are all ready for what we're about to put them through. So we're lining up here, toes pointed straight forward, feet pretty narrow, about where we would be striking in a running stance, give or take. A little bit narrower maybe. And we're going to try to find that center and load over top of the tension of the calves. And once you find that tension in the calves, you can actually hold on to something to get your little bit of extra range of motion like I am here. But try to keep the very strict ankle angle over top of the middle of the foot. Keep the big toe pushing and engaged, all the other toes engaged as best you can. And you're noticing I'm trying to maintain this about 90-degree knee angle here. So the soleus is still engaged. So optimally, if you look, I'm sitting without the bench. And I want to keep my abs engaged and keep everything engaged here and try to really start working through those extreme ranges of through the pattern here and keep into those calves, find the arch of the feet. Now, what we're moving into here, we're moving into your standard hip card. Now, I've shown these multiple times. These are a good general warm-up for anything lower body. It gets everything firing. Hamstring, calf, adductor, glute medius, glute maximus, everything through this hip girdle right now, including you're taxing that oblique, getting that oblique used to stabilizing, elongating the hip flexor. And we're starting to work through this pattern and trying to fight any type of cramps or missed patterns or misfires that we're working on here. Now, keep the strict pelvic girdle tension here, just like anything else we do. Hips pointing forward, ribs pointing forward as best we can. I'm seeing a little deviation here, but we're trying to keep it as strict as possible and trying to keep as much of a squeeze on the ball as you can at all times. The next pattern we're moving into here is our split stance elevated calf iso hold. Now, this one here, I have not created on my own, just mind you that. This one has been used by a couple different people I've seen. But what we're trying to do here is set up good shin angle on the front side, good knee angle on the back side here. Stack the torso, pull the shoulder far back, protracting the opposite shoulder that's forward in our archer position. Keeping both knees slightly internally rotated to stay over top of our midline and keep our hips in position. And keep trying to keep that front triangle of the foot. So from the back of the ball of the foot towards the tip of the toes, we want to keep that engaged and try to keep that ankle extended. Try to keep everything over your center of gravity. Last thing we're going to move into here is we're going to come into our hamstring iso hold out of our elongated bridge position with a little bit of protraction. So you go to the closest bridge that you can bring your feet to your butt, and then I'm going to take 6 little heel steps out, set my feet, keep my knees nice and lined, so keeping everything nice tight towards my midline here. And I'm going to extend into the glutes, and then while I'm extending, pull my heels back, trying to flex my hamstrings and my adductors and keep my ribs nice and tight here. Now we're going to hold this position, trying to fight off the cramps and keep everything on the whole time. All right, so these are a couple little things that you can use before you run, before you jog, before a little bit of jumping. Easy prep work to do, done in 10 minutes. See how these things go.